Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Boats from the 19th hole, and we're here to do a golden shot video for you all. We're back from vacation. We didn't do one last time, but we're here to do one this time. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the golden shot real quickly. As you can see, we have Vineyard Acres hole from the Vintage Open Tournament. This was hole number 2. And basically what you can do here is you can win prizes. The top prize is the gold, the Obsidian chest, which would be a hole-in-one. For that, you win 9 Berserkers and 48 total cards, including 15 rare and 8 epic. And then from there, the prizes do kind of scale down depending on what ring you get. There are 5 total rings: hole-in-one, yellow, red, light blue, and dark blue rings. And each of those rings gives you a different prize. And the farther you get away from the hole, the lesser prize you get. But nonetheless, you still get a prize, so that's pretty cool. As far as the clubs go, we'll be using the golden golf bag. And for this hole, we will be using the golden long iron. And we will talk a little bit more about the measurements and what you will be playing with as far as, mile per hour per ring goes and stuff like that in just a second. So we will be talking next about the shot setup, and then we will talk about the miles per hour per rings, and then I'm going to show you some shots of me taking my golden shots, using my free shots on some of my accounts, and then I will show you a full set of shots that I take on my J-Bone account, which I was kind of low on Berserker balls, so I went ahead and purchased a $5 golden shot package on my J-Bone account, and I will show you those shots in entirety. So be right back in just a second. Alright y'all, so this is our shot chart here. Thank you to Joel Nice for creating this chart as always. And as you can see, we're going to be playing this shot with a plus 10% max adjustment, otherwise 1.65 miles per hour per ring. So if you do use the Wind app, you would just plug in a plus 10, make sure you have it on the golden long iron, and you're going to play the max adjustment once you enter in the wind values. So if you don't have an app, let me real quickly here kind of help you all out. So I'm going to show you from like 4 to 8 miles per hour. So 2.5 rings. We'll do 3 rings. We'll do 4 rings. 4.5. And I think that's as much as we're going to have to do. So at two rings, that will be 3.3 miles per hour. At 3 rings, that'll be 4.95 miles per hour. 4 rings will be 6.5 miles per hour, and 4.5 will be 7.425 miles per hour. And I would just suggest that you kind of round these numbers off. And we just need to do a 3.5 as well. So 3.5 rings will be 5.775 miles per hour. And like I said, I would write these values down and have them on a sheet of paper right next to you so that you can quickly glance down and know what your wind adjustment is going to be. But I would just kind of round these ones off, a little bit, and like, for 3.5, just do, 5.75. For 3, just do 5 miles per hour, and so on. 4.5, just do 7.5. But anyways, those will be your ring values for the shot if you don't use an app. Now, the chart is very simple. You look at the chart, and you know what your spins are going to be based on the wind. If you have a straight tailwind, okay, that means you're going to go with 2.25 bars of backspin and no side spin and no curl. If you have a straight headwind, then you're going with only 1 bar of backspin. no side spin, no curl. Now, this is where it starts to get a little more tricky. If you have straight, side winds, if you have right to left, in that case, you'll have 1.5 backspin, 2.5 right spin. If you have left to right, 1.5 backspin, 1 left spin. So, if you have a wind that seems like it's pushing fairly decently left to right, I would definitely consider using maybe a little bit of curl, especially any kind of a wind that's pointing from right to left. I would definitely go with a little bit of baby curl, and you're going to see me do this on my shots, and I will talk about it a little bit more on my shots. But I took a few shots without using any curl, and I seem to end, especially on right to left winds, I seem to end left of the hole pretty consistently. So based on that, I kind of made a little bit of an adjustment. Anytime I had some sort of a right to left wind, I threw in a little bit of right baby curl, and it seemed to really help my shots. And I will show you the examples of these when we do watch the video. Basically, when you want to set up your shot, the first thing you want to do is put 1.5 backspin on your shot, and then you want to use the ball guide. You want to put just a little bit of the blue ring into the rough. I like to use the yellow circle, which is the inner circle of my target, and I like to place it at the bottom edge of the little shadow that's in the fairway. And you will see this on my shots. I will talk about it in detail. But basically, the three things I look at is the top of the yellow ring at the bottom of the shadow, a little bit of the blue ring cutting the right rough, and then I like for my ball guide to be hitting at the top of the hill and directed at the hole as best as possible. And then from that point, then you will make your adjustments for your wind. So if you have a tailwind, you will just change that 1.5 to 2.25 and you'll be ready to go. If you have a right to left wind, then you will have 1.5 backspin and you need to add in your 2.5 right spin to the shot. Okay? So the best thing to do is really just to get into the shot and show you a few examples of the shots. Like I said, I'm going to show you a bunch of my free shots, and then I'm going to show you a set of shots that I take with my JBone account from purchasing the shots. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the shots. Alright, y'all, so these are the shots. Basically what we're going to do is 4 shots. These are all free shots. And then we'll do a shot package for JBone, my account that needs Berserker balls. And I will show you all of the shots in that shot package. The first thing we're going to do here, though, is we're actually going to start up the video. And I want to show you all the way that you want to set up for the shot. So first things first, you enter your wind in, and then you go with 1.5 backspin. And now we're going to set up the initial spot for our shot. Okay? So right there is a good initial setup for our shot. And let me show you the things that you're going to look for. And I will also go over this again once I do my JBone shots as well. So if you miss it here, you can see it the next time. So the first thing you're looking for is the edge of this ball guide right there at the top of that hill and face and pointing towards the hole. That's the first thing you're looking for. The next thing is the top of the yellow ring. You want that at the bottom of the shadow, and then you want the right side of the blue ring cutting into the edge of the rough, just ever so slightly. Those are the 3 things that you're going to look for your initial shot setup, and then from here you will adjust for wind, or you will adjust for your shot and then adjust for wind. Those things can kind of go either way, just depends on which way you want to do it. But yes, you will adjust for your wind, you will adjust for your actual spins for your shot, and then you will take your shot and hit that perfect. So go ahead and continue on this video and talk through it here. So we have a straight tailwind here. So we're just going to go with about 2 bars of backspin. I think I went a little bit over 2 bars of backspin. I really only meant for 2 bars. And we adjust for our wind. 3.8 rings here. Just got to hit the perfect shot. And we do hit our perfect shot. We get the bounce and the roll, and we get the red ring. Not a bad shot right there. And we'll be right back for our next shot after we open up these Crimson chests. See what we get here. Some Viper cards. Some Rough Cutters. Some Saharas. Hey, we unlock the Falcon, and we get some Berserker Balls. Alright, so we got our shot here. We have a right to left tailwind. First things first, 1.5 backspin to set up our shot. Once we get all of our points lined up like we want them, we will then make our next adjustment. So for this shot, we go in 2 backspin, 1.5 right spin, and now we will adjust for our wind. And you will notice that sometimes I do that opposite. Sometimes I adjust wind and then my spin. And I've just shown you different ways that you can do it. We're going to go a little bit of right curl since we have a right to left side wind here. And we get the nice bounce on the roll. And, ooh, we just missed that yellow ring. Got the red ring, though. Red rings are good. Yellow rings are good. Aces are yummy. So, Crimson chest, let's see what we get real quickly here before we move on to our next shot. Machete cards, Apaches, Saharas, and Berserkers. And it's time for our next shot. Be right back. Alright, so we got our next shot here. First thing we're going to do is put our wind values in. We got 5.5, so that means this will be a 3.3 ring adjustment. First thing first, we put our 1.5 backspin and we set up our shot. We have a right to left tailwind, so we'll play 1.25 back and 1.5 right spin for our final spin adjustment. So next we adjust for our wind, 3.3 rings, and now we will make our spin adjustment. 1.25 back, 1.5 to the right. So all we have to do now is hit our perfect shot. We have 10 seconds left on the clock, so you saw we had plenty of time. We're going to go a little bit of right curl here with a right to left wind. This is just a personal adjustment that I'm making. And we get the yellow ring. Very close. Very close. Some extra miles. Nice set of extra mile cards there. Some quarterbacks. Some snipers. It was a good chest right here. And some fireflies. Very nice chest. Okay. And the Berserker balls. Don't forget about the Berserker balls. Alright, one more shot before we go to the J-Bone shot package. So, next hole. Left to right, tailwind, kind of side wind. Let's see what we can do here. Adjust our shot. Get it set up here. Then we'll play our wind adjustment. Actually, we'll adjust for our shot first, and then we will make our wind adjustment. For this shot, 4 rings. See here, we'll see. Perfect shot. We're going to go a little bit of, just a tiny bit of curl here. Hit the shot. Get the roll. Boom. There's the ace. The ace is in the house. The obsidian chest. Let's see what we get. Some Goliath cards. Some machetes. Some snipers. Some Falcons. And then the Berserkers. And next we will have the J-Bone shots. So be right back. All right, y'all. So we got my J-Bone account here. This is the account that I decided to purchase the shot package on. Needed some Berserker balls. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you all 6 shots. We're going to talk through these shots. On the first shot, I will pause the video and kind of show you the setup for the shot. These are all not perfect shots. And I will talk about the mistakes that I make during these shots to hopefully improve the chances of you not making the same mistake. So we'll go ahead and get started here. The first thing I always like to do is I like to input my wind into my app. That way I know exactly what my ring adjustment is going to be for my shot. So 6.5 is 3.9 rings of adjustment for my shot. So the first thing we do is 1.5 backspin, and we're going to line up our shot. So we've got the shot lined up. I'm going to show you 3 different things that I want you all to keep in mind during this shot. So the first thing is the top of the ball guide. You want that ball guide to be landing at the top of that hill, just on that fringe cut, and you want it to be pointing towards the hole as best as possible. As you see, I'm just a little bit tad pointed to the right side of the hole here. So number one mistake that I made on this shot is you see my ball guide is a little bit pointed to the right side of the hole. You want that thing pointed toward the pin as best as possible, and it's really an eyeballing type of thing. So you just got to eyeball that positioning as best as possible. The second thing you're going to look at is the right side of the blue ring. You want it to cut into the rough a little bit, so we do have that correct. The next thing that you want to look at is the top of the yellow ring, and I like to have that at the base of that shadow, just there at the base of that shadow. So the 3 things are right there. Top of the yellow ring, base of the shadow, right side of the blue ring, cutting into the rough slightly, and then the tip of the ball guide you want to land on the top of the hill of the fringe and direct it towards the hole as best as possible. Now you want to start out with each shot with this setup. The first thing you want to do is that. Set up your setup for your shot. Then you have the option. The way I like to do it is I like to turn my screen and I will adjust for my wind. And then I will go to the shot chart and I will make my changes to my spins based on the shot chart and the wind that we have. The other option that you can do is once you have your original setup, like you see currently on the screen, you can go ahead and just do your spin changes for your wind direction. And then after that, you can adjust for your wind. It really just boils down to what way works best for you and which order that you want to do it in. I personally never had any issues with running out of time. So as long as you know what you're doing going into these shots, you should be okay. All right? Okay, so we'll go ahead and start our shot here, and we will talk about it as we do it. So 6.5 will be 3.9 rings of an adjustment. Now, the mistake I make on this shot is I adjust it as if it's a left to right tailwind and not a side wind. So I go with 2 backspin. I should have gone with 1.5 backspin and 1 left spin. So we did not go with any left spin, and as you're going to see as a result of that mistake, my ball is going to end up to the right side of the hole. I had pretty good distance on the shot though still. So with 1 bar of left spin, we're definitely a lot closer to that hole. Maybe not an ace, but definitely probably a red ring. I do think I had a slight slant, right slant to that shot when I did adjust and pull back my my ball. So we got the blue ring to start with here. For our second shot here, we enter our wind. We have a left to right tailwind here. So 4.5 rings of adjustment for this shot. We'll go with 1.5 backspin. We'll set up our shot as we did before. Top of the yellow, the blue ring, and the ball guide aiming towards the hole. Now, we're going to adjust for our shot, 4.5 rings. .25 backspin for this shot. Okay? And we're going to do just a little bit of baby curl to the left. I know on the shot chart it doesn't talk about any kind of curl, but I feel that during playing my shots that sometimes you need a little bit of curl. And when you have that left to right facing wind or right to left wind, you want to add a little bit of curl in the opposite direction. That's just my personal experience on this shot. So we get the other blue ring. All right, shot number 3. So for shot number 3, we're going to put our wind in, 6.3. And we're going to play this one as pretty much a headwind. So we go 1 bar of backspin. And we're not going to worry about our 1.5 adjustment here, just because we're only going 1 bar of backspin. So we're basically there already. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this shot as best as we can. We're going to put the edge of the ball guide maybe a little bit farther forward than we did normally, just to kind of have that shot pre-set up. And as a result of that, our blue ring isn't in the rough. But that's okay because we didn't go with the 1.5 adjustment that we normally go with. So 3.8 for our rings. We hit it perfect. We get a nice bounce and the roll, and there's the ace. So just to clarify that, I did not go with 1.5 backspin and set up my shot prior to all of my other adjustments that time. I knew that a headwind is only 1 backspin. So because I knew that, I just kind of skipped that first step. And in order to kind of like adjust for that in my head, I knew that I needed to adjust my shot a little bit differently to start with. And as a result of that change and adjustment, my blue ring was kind of just at the edge of the rough line and not in the rough. If I had 1.5 backspin, I would have had to adjust my shot up further, and then my blue line would have been in the rough. But since I only adjusted to start with 1 backspin, I did not have to kind of, go as far up as I normally would. So keep that in mind. If you have a headwind, you can just go with the 1 backspin and start your adjustment from there, adjust for the wind, and then take your shot. But any other of the winds, I would definitely suggest go with the 1.5 backspin. Line up your shot, and then worry about your wind adjustment for the wind and the spin. So let's continue. So we got the ace. Let's see what we get in the prize chest for the ace. We got some quarterbacks, some thorns, some machetes, didn't need those. Some down and ones, needed them but didn't really. And some tsunami cards. Okay, not too bad. Most importantly, there's some 9 berserker balls. We needed those. Alright, so we got 3 shots left to get 2 rings. Let's see if we can do it. Left to right tailwind. So we end our wind. 3.8 rings of adjustment. We'll go with 1.5 backspin. And we will set up our shot as normal. Then we will adjust for our wind. And then we will adjust for our spins for our wind. So 3.8 rings for our wind adjustment, and now we will redo our spins. 2 backspin and 1.5 right spin. Go a little bit of a baby right curl on this shot, just because we had right to left facing wind, and we get the red ring. A little bit short on the shot, but we get the red ring, so that's good. Now, if you want to use curl on any of these shots, that's totally up to you. The shot chart is set up to not use curl. I'm adding in curl personally because sometimes I feel like I need a little tiny bit of curl. It's not a whole lot, it's just a small amount. So that's up to you to decide how you want to play the hole. If you want to try to kind of factor in a little bit of curl for your shot, or if you just want to play it straight up and play the wind chart straight up. So left to right headwind this time, right to left headwind this time, 1.5, set up our shot. And then we're going to adjust for our wind, 3.2 rings. and then we will make our adjustments for our wind. .25 backspin, 1.5 right spin for this shot. And I go with a little bit of baby curl here, and I really believe that that little bit of baby curl cost me this time. So it seems like sometimes it helps and sometimes it costs you. And I think I accidentally rewound the shot a little bit. Or maybe this is the last shot. All right. So 3.8 adjustment here. 2 bars of backspin for more of a left to right tailwind. Perfect hit. Can we get the last yellow ring? Comes in with a nice bounce. It's in the ring. It's in the ring. It's out of the ring. So we didn't get it. So it's okay. We ended up with 4 out of 5 rings. We got the ace. We got the balls. We got some clubs. Definitely a successful, shot package. We did not clear the amber chest. We had 2 chances to do it. We didn't come close on the first time. We came pretty close on the second time, though. So that is where we're going to end this golden shot video. Hopefully you enjoyed the shots before this set of shots for J-Bone. I just thought it would be cool to kind of show you a complete set of shots and not just my random free shots. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Hopefully you all learned a thing or two. Hopefully you all can apply this to your shots, whether you're using just a free shot or you're going to buy the package of shots. Hopefully y'all can get some good loot and get some Berserker balls. Definitely let me know what kind of cards you all get in the comment section if you get something good. Or if you get something just completely terrible, tell me about that in the comment section as well, and we'll complain about it. All right. If you are new to watching my videos, I do have a Facebook community page. If you go on Facebook into search bar, you can type in Golf Clash the 19th Hole. We're up to 3,500 members there. It is a community built to help other members grow in the game. So if you are new to the game and you have questions, feel free to come become a member and ask those questions. We have a lot of veteran players there that are there because they enjoy helping other people grow as well. That is our goal, and that is our motto. So thank you all for being with me, and we'll see you all in the next video. Maybe we'll catch you on one of my live streams. All right, y'all, take care. God bless.